There's a place not far from here, with strange things round each corner. It's a town where vampires walk the streets and unlikely friendships bloom. When there's a mystery to solve, Ellie Spark is the vampire to call, unless she's scared away like a cat. Poof! There goes that scaredy bat. Villains and pesky sisters beware, no spider, clown, or loud noise will stop Ellie and her team from solving crime. One fear at a time.
Chapter 2. Trenton Academy. The Jotun Frost Giants have made it clear that they favor the end of the Fang and Flesh Peace Treaty and would welcome a vampire king like Prince Theo. This is what their leader had to say. The sound of the car's radio was replaced by chirping birds as Ellie stepped out of the blue car. The scent of flowers wafted through the air. Ellie and her parents walked up to the towering metal gate that surrounded a large building. With its sun-washed bricks, high arched windows, and glass atrium, the former paper mill's mix of vintage charm and modern beauty was like many of the buildings in Brookside. What was once a remote ghost town in the northern U.S., known for its failed paper mill, was now a thriving community with lush forests, a famous garlic festival, and of course, Trenton Academy. Trenton Academy was the first school to allow both vampire and human students, even before the Fang and Flesh Peace Treaty, and now it was the chosen venue for the royal vampire wedding. "This is where the royal vampire wedding is?" Ellie asked as she scrunched her nose. "Why would anyone want to have their wedding at a stinky middle school?" While stunning to most, with its historical elegance and colorful garden beds, all Ellie could see was a place with mandatory Monday math quizzes and cafeteria food that resembled gray mush. Dad looked up at the secret location that was sent to his phone a mere hour ago.
"Yep, this is definitely it."
Mom nudged Ellie and flashed her daughter a look that Ellie knew meant behave. "I'm sure it will be beautiful." "But why would you get married here when you have a dream palace in the forest?" asked Ellie.
"They wanted it to be a bit more private," answered Dad. "Plus, this school is kind of fitting, since Ayana is the first human to be married into the royal vampire family. Don't you think?"
"I guess," mumbled Ellie. A man in a black suit and a woman in a pink poofy dress distracted Ellie from her disapproval of the venue choice. They stood in the school's attached atrium, holding a piece of paper and small flashlight. Why do they need a flashlight to read in clear daylight? Ellie wondered. As the man read to the woman in pink, Ellie tried to read his lips, a detective skill she never seemed to master, while Mom inserted a gold key card into a monitor on the gate. "Greetings!" boomed a robotic voice. Ellie jumped at the overly loud welcome. "Please stand by for a face scan." As a red laser skipped across the trio's faces, Ellie looked back at the atrium. But the couple had disappeared. After a few seconds, the voice sounded once more. "Thank you, Gina Spark, Dr. Harold Spark, and Ellie Spark. You may enter." Ellie stood with her mouth open as the gate creaked forward. This may be her familiar middle school, but that was definitely new. It was just like a cool piece of tech that her idol, Haley Hattie, would encounter in her favorite mystery series, The Amazing Vampire Detective. She couldn't wait to see what else was inside. Ellie's amazement grew as they entered the school gym. It no longer looked like the place where smelly boys spilled sweat on the basketball court and gym teachers yelled at her to run faster. Her eyes gleamed as she took in the bright flowers around every corner and elegant ice sculptures in each room. White flowing fabric and twinkle lights hung from the ceiling like sparkly clouds. It looked like a wedding from a fairy tale. "You made it!" cried a familiar voice behind Ellie. Ellie turned around to the familiarity of red curls and a bright white fanged smile. "Jessica!" Ellie gushed. The two girls hugged as if they hadn't seen each other in weeks, when in reality, it had only been a couple days. "Can you believe this used to be the gym? It looks amazing!" gushed Jessica. Ellie nodded as she took in more of the stunning decor. Jessica pointed to a rather poised woman with a light blue dress that perfectly contrasted her tan skin. "That's Shayla Jeffords, the wedding planner," Jessica explained. "My mom said that if she ever gets married again, she would definitely hire Shayla." Ellie's eyes wandered to Jessica's mom, Camille Perry. Her hair was straight and sleek, unlike her daughter's mess of curls, but those gray-blue eyes were undoubtedly one of the traits that the mother and daughter duo shared, along with their effortless charm that seemed to make everyone like them. Ellie supposed that if you were going to be a big-time actress like Camille Perry, that charm was a must. Ellie refocused on Jessica, who was still chattering on about the wedding. "And I hear that some of the food has been specially catered so that it has never been tasted before this wedding. Although I hear they have some frozen desserts, and I don't know how anything will stay frozen for more than a second on the hottest day of the year." Jessica finally caught a breath as she wiped a small bead of sweat from her brow. "It is super hot today," Ellie said as she tugged on her jacket collar. Jessica nodded. "I know, I am so warm. How are you not boiling in that turquoise trench coat?" Ellie looked down at her long coat. She loved it, but maybe Jessica had a point. She stripped off the jacket, revealing her pink dress and purple stockings with crescent moons. Ellie noted that it wasn't nearly as elegant as Jessica's dark blue dress with subtle sparkles, but she still stood by her choice. Jessica looked at the nearby air vent and fanned herself with her hand. "Do you want to go outside for a bit?" she asked. "They said they won't start the wedding until the air conditioner kicks in more, so we have a little while." Ellie nodded. "Sure, just let me ask my parents." The gym may look nice, but it still felt like the same hot and sticky school Ellie remembered. After her parents agreed, the two girls made their way to the front door just as a short boy in a tux with dark skin and glasses rushed past them. "Hey, isn't that the boy that had the project that caught last year's science fair on fire?" Ellie whispered. "I think so," replied Jessica. "On the bright side, it ruined our project, so we automatically got an A." "That's right," said Ellie. Both girls laughed. With the front doors locked, the attached atrium was the closest they could get to outside. It was a quiet space with windowed walls, colorful flowers, and lush greenery. After Ellie and Jessica gushed over the wedding, and Ellie complained about the latest fight with Penny, the two friends decided it was time to go back in. As Ellie stood, she plucked a dandelion that was invading one of the pots and blew on the willowy white seeds. "I wish I could solve a real mystery," she thought to herself. Just then, she looked up to see Jessica tugging on the glass door, which was sheeted with a sudden mysterious layer of frost.
Until next time, get the book and read along
There's
with
a
me.
place not far from here, with strange things round each corner.